All right, this is a walkthrough of how to do the Revelation song with the chord progression sheet I sent you guys. So first you'll want to work through just getting your right hand down and getting to the chords on time, and then doing your left hand with just fifths at first. Keep that middle note open. The left hand sounds too crowded with the whole chord, okay? So your ultimate goal for just the simple beginning will be right hand chord with left hand fifth. Okay, and this is in the key of C. G is your 5 chord, D minor is your 2, and then your 4 chord is F. 1 chord is C. I'm going to play through that progression 4 times so you can play along with it. And if you already have your fifths down and you can get there perfectly, you can try octaves with the left hand instead. So your right hand chord would hit G while your left hand octave would hit G, like that. Okay, so you could do either one of these left hand options. I'm going to play the fifths just so those who are just getting started can practice just one hand at a time while I do this progression, and then when it's over, you can stop it and retry again with the other hand. 1, 2, here we go. G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, again to G, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, again to G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, last time, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So if you were able to do that with both hands, great, you can move on to the next part. If you were working on one hand, stop, go back and try it with the other hand, and then try again with both hands. The next column that you'll work on is patterns with the root note and fifth. Now, your root note could be just the bottom note of the chord like this, and here's the fifth, and that's a good pattern. It's very easy, where you go, I'll call out your finger numbers, 5, 1, 1, 5, down to D minor, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1. Try that. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that can be done with the other hand as well. Play the left hand fifth, right hand play thumb, pinky, pinky, thumb. 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1. And that sounds really good. Okay? Another pattern that you can do is with your octave in the bass clef. Same thing with the right hand. 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, like that. Another thing that you can do with the left hand with octaves is have this octave here and play your 5 with your 2 finger, okay? So you could go 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 5, 1. You see what's happening there? I'm playing the first note of the chord and the fifth note for beats 2 and 3 and back to the 1 right there. Now there's tons of patterns you can do just based on the root note and fifth. You could change the timing to be 1, 5, 1, 5, like that. The pattern. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. All right. So there's a lot of patterns you can do just focusing on playing the first and the fifth note of the chord. So until you feel very comfortable with that, don't move on to using broken chord patterns. Make sure you can do both hands together with the fifth, both hands together with the octave, and then try new patterns with the 1 and the 5 in the right, 1 and the 5 in the left. If you feel good about that and you can do one of those patterns I just played, you can move on to the broken chord patterns. That's the next column. And that, go back to fifth in your left hand. Right hand could just go left, then broken, fifth, then broken, like that, where it's very simple. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay? There I'm just playing the thumb in the left hand on the third beat. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Now try your broken chord coming down. Left hand starts and then the right hand follows. If you're going to do both hands at the same time, you could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? And that's just rocking back and forth between the top two notes of the chord. You start with the first note, 1 and 2, then back and forth, then the next chord, back and forth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. There's so many things you could do there. Left hand could start with the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This is a lot harder. It's like a cross-hand arpeggio. Okay, so that you might have to pause and really practice that with the left hand first. The 5, 1, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1, 5 is the notes of the chord, like that. And then going to the next chord. So that's worth practicing. Any pattern that you do, if you want to really get it down, do it in the scale of chords. So if you want to do the 1, 5, 5, 1 in the scale of chords, you'd go 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, like that. Or with the left hand, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, like that. If you wanted to get that broken hand arpeggio down, okay? Stop there if there's anything that you could still work on. If you've nailed all of that, wow, great job. But I hope that a lot of these things are new and give you something interesting to try. The next column is about the melody and then altered chords and substitute chords, and I'm going to make a separate video for those 3 columns. Once you get the first 4 columns, right hand, left hand, patterns with root note and fifth, broken chord patterns, in C, you would go and do it in G next. So just real quick, one time through in G for each column, it would be D is your 5, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, left hand, fifth, D, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, fifth, 2, 3, patterns with root note and fifth. that just gives you a little sample of doing the same thing again in the next key, which you should only play if you can do the scale of chords, and scale of octaves first. Thanks guys for watching. That's your Revelation Song tutorial.